So what is up, guys? Welcome back. So we have another great nature deck profile for you today. I said I was doing two, and I made that promise. So this deck profile is dedicated to self-damaging. This is what we call Turbo Leo. This is a Turbo Leo deck profile. We're focused on reverse Leo. We need to pull off reverse Leo always, and with the self-damagers, this will help us push our opponent really quick to 5 without the use of a trigger to really get your plays going. But if you hit a trigger, that's just a bonus. So our first match is against Link Joker. So let's get this started. So he rides his filter unit. I mean his technical filter unit. I mean you pitch a card, draw a card when you place it. Alright, so I drew my Zebra and I drew a self-damager. So I'm looking at my hand. I'm going to ride Duck Coil. Obviously, I need the PGs. So I use the G3 Searcher just in case I don't draw reverse Leo. But thank God for my terrible RNG, I've been drawing reverse Leo like crazy. Lo and behold, I drew it again. So at the end of the day, with this G3 Searcher, he just becomes a lock to me. He's a lock filter. I lost value in him after a certain amount that I'm actually going to go lock instead. So with that being said, he just becomes a lock. It's like playing Ethics. If you don't use your G0 Forerunner, you just lock. It's a lock filter or whatever people want to call it, like a falter or it's just bait. It's just lock bait. All right, so he locks my back row. Yikes! As you can tell, my hand is not suited for that 10k intercept. So this is where the Zebra actually will come in handy. This is why I like Zebra in this deck more than I did before. So we ride Cam, we'll just have a 9k base. I didn't need him really killing me with whatever G3 he rode. So Zebra's gonna get put down. Sorry about the little lag in the video. The computer was acting kind of funky here. But we typed up Binocular Tiger. So Binocular Tiger comes to the field, gets placed. With Binocular being called, this was a good top deck. Alright, now our video's back to normal. Binocular Tiger boosts Zebra. Zebra swings at the 10k shield, and we do 1 damage to the opponent by drawing a card. And we were set there. I don't know if I drew a card here. Nah, I didn't. Okay. Because I had the self-damagers, I didn't really feel like I needed to waste it because I have a strong reverse Leo play coming up. Dude only has 3 cards, so I felt like I had a strong Leo play in this battle due to the fact that I had 2 self-damagers, so I was actually in a good position. So he plays a intercept, so he's going to swing. So we'll see how this goes. Like I said, the best thing about reverse Leo Turbo is if they only play 1 intercept and you have the self-damagers, you're going to guarantee yourself almost 3 attacks. It is definitely guaranteed. No screwing around there. All right, I healed. Perfect. I'm glad I healed because guess what? It's self-damaging time. And since I had the self-damagers for this play, I'm going to be able to do it. Perfect. I got everything I needed this match. I'm glad this profile was made and I can revisit this for you guys to talk about it. So we're going to self-damage, we're going to self-damage, and we're going to self-damage again. Now we're going to put 1 self-damager and then we're going to put a reverse Leo on the side because we don't need them. We're going to lock actually 2 back rows. This is where the power column comes in handy. Since these Buntas can actually hit 12k, now we have certain units that are hitting their power numbers we're looking for. Powerball numbers. So again, we rock reverse Leo, and then we just turn that unit into a 16k. Why not? He's perfectly prepped. And since I'm playing stands, I mean I'm playing draw turbo. I try to focus on the column that's looking pretty nice. So if I hit a trigger, that unit's going to be at 21, and this unit's going to be at 26. This column will be 26 and a 21 if I hit a trigger. Lo and behold, I hit a heal check, and that was a beautiful heal. So guess what? We give it to that unit, the other Bunta. So that's 21k. That unit's going to be at 26. So we're going to guarantee ourselves some attacks here. He gets a draw trigger. That's fine. As long as since we hit that trigger, we were able to get this solid push in. So that's a 26 column. Let's swing again. Bam. Let's see if he gets a trigger. No trigger. We swing again, and the column was perfectly prepped. And if he was trying to heal during the 3rd damage or the 4th damage, it wouldn't have happened. So self-damage here. So here's the fun part. As you saw, my heal just went back in the deck. So the next thing about this, when you bring back your self-damagers, you're playing Russian roulette. And what I mean by that is your self-damagers come back and they self-damage you again. So this is where I find the fun in this deck. You could always somehow get your triggers back in the deck, or your heals back. Well, you can get triggers back in the deck in general, not just your heals, but you can get certain triggers if you self-damage correctly. So we self-damage a Cable Sheep, that's fine. Draw trigger, all right, so now we see what goes back. So our Soft Tank Sloth went back, our draw trigger went back. So all the important things went back. I got my triggers back, I got a trigger back, I got my heal back, everything went back into the deck. That's also another beauty about the self-damagers in Turbo Leo. You can deny heals with Leo. All right, so he's doing a triangle lock here. So he's going to triangle lock me. That's fine. None of Entropy is always like the next, triangle lock version of itself. I mean, I'm only at 1. I legit pushed him to 5, and I'm only at 1 damage after that heal. So again, if you self-damage yourself a crap ton and heal, that is some nasty, nasty play style right there. So this guy's prepping cards. He's setting up plays. He only has 1 card in hand, so I'm like, okay, sure. So we take this hit. That's fine. We'll take another hit. He's obviously looking to heal here. That's a fact. If he doesn't heal, he's in trouble. He might have a PG. We'll have to wait and see. So I lost another card. Attacks me again. That's fine. So I take all 3 of these hits. I mean, it's only 1 triangle lock unless he had another Night of Entropy next turn. I wouldn't have really minded because again, my 2 lock cards are intercepts, and I have 2 PGs, and only went up to 4th damage. So I think I'm going to win this match. Regardless of what was in my hand. So draw trigger, draw Soft Tank Sloth, perfect. Soft Tank Sloth dies, and we heal from there. Now, I could have healed there. I could have played my self-damager, actually, believe it or not. But I would have hit the draw trigger. But it wouldn't matter if I hit the draw trigger, because in the end, I would have healed and went back down to 3. So a lot of positive things. As you see, we just wrecked Link Joker really fast. It was really quick. If my Zebra did not call Binocular Tiger, I wasn't going to win that match. I was not going to win without that Binocular Tiger. I had to somehow push him by sacking even my early intercepts. I didn't have the boosters yet, or I didn't want to waste my boosters, because again, those self-damagers are very important for when the time is right. You only play those self-damagers when you're about to do reverse Leo's effect. Because as you see, when I healed at 2, and I was at 2, I went a little bit more ham with my combo. I'm like, yes, I heal, so self-damage, self-damage, self-damage. I self-damaged myself to 5. That way, it was like he couldn't heal out of it. Like, he would stay in the kill range. So let's take a look at him. We returned Leo, because, again, we got reverse Leo. So, again, like I said, my G3 Forerunner just becomes bait for my reverse Leo to eat. So we draw Leo, and I'm happy I drew that, because I like the Leo for my reverse Leo combos, because again, with Leo or Binocular Tiger, we power creep our units. We make them stronger after. We're giving the unit 8,000 power without the booster yet, and that unit's going to be able to swing practically almost for magic numbers. So let's see how we do against Revengers here. So he's playing Claudus in this one. So we'll see how this goes. Attacks with the Revenger there. Whiffs a heal. Good. That's good for me. I like when they whiff heals. Playing Great Nature, I got to get certain plays off. So we take the first 2 hits. It's okay. I want to take the first 2 hits. So draw trigger. Nice. Zebra. I love Zebra. Zebra is the GOAT of Great Nature right now for this build. So let's see. What are we riding? Are we riding Zebra? I guess we're riding Zebra. Okay. So my brain said, let's ride Zebra. But what's the worst that can happen? So we get a Binocular Tiger. So I took it upon myself to just, not play anything else. I got my intercept. I didn't have to waste mine in hand. I get to keep my 2 self-damagers for when the time comes for the possible effect. So we attack once. That's fine. No trigger. If there's no trigger, there's no trigger. He possibly would have left his Claudus there until he wrote his G3 and then used Claudus. So I didn't want to leave her unattended. I actually wanted just to even call that, so I didn't have to lose a card in my hand to kind of just, screw his field up a bit, screw up his field advantage. All right, so he's doing the Tar2 play. With Tar2 going off, Tar2 calls that. I mean, this is pretty basic stuff with Revengers. I mean, once they get these off, they actually start, doing certain plays. I guess he didn't want to do that because he didn't want 2 16K columns. He really wants to push me here. So he misses a PG. Okay. So we take the first hit. It's a heal trigger. That's a beaut. That's a beauty. And with a heal trigger going to the damage zone just means we gotta just return it back into the deck. And that's where this deck comes in handy. This is what makes the deck really fun and scary at the same time. We have a chance to return that heal back in the deck so we don't lose it. We're playing this deck like we're trying to get every trigger that just went off back in. So we lose a draw trigger. That's fine. That's okay. So he has 2 intercepts. Obviously, he's protecting himself. So the max I'm going to be able to do is push him to 3, which is okay. So we set a couple self-damagers here and there. And we don't waste one of our self-damagers because I just needed just 2 for now. So I pushed myself to 5. In case he was kind of deny me damage, I wanted to play this to an extent of I'm going to be able to get over every unit he plays. So reverse Leo's effect, that unit's going to be able to swing without a trigger, and that's what we're always looking for in Great Nature. The beauty of Great Nature's gimmick is going over the units without a trigger. If we get a trigger, it's a plus. Ooh, that draw trigger was beautiful. You saw that, PG? Magnificent. This just goes perfect. So we stopped the heal. Good. It's not like he was going to heal anyways. I was 2 at 3 damage. So we swing again. Power column. GG's. 31k. Bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. So now we return a draw trigger. And we returned our heal trigger. So we did good here. Now the scary part is when we self-damage again, if we accidentally self-damage the heal, then our play kind of backfired. Because the whole point of this play was to return a heal check. So let's return that, and then we return the self-damager. Alrighty, self-damage. Lose a PG, gain a draw trigger. Was that a fair trade? Why not? Could be fair. Sounds fair. I mean, a defense trigger is a defense. A defense. I'll take a defense any day, you know? I'll take the defense trigger. Trust me. Alright, so he's going to kill Binocular. He wasn't a fan. Blaster Dark Revenger does Blaster Dark Revenger things. He's going to use his Tar-2, which means he possibly only has a 1 PG because he just drew Mordred. Which means he either has a PG in his hand or a G3. And I'm pretty sure it just might be a G3. I think he was looking for Break Ride, because if not, I think that was Raging Form Dragon. So I healed. So you know what that means? We have another chance at putting that heal back in the deck with a self-damager, and we gotta take that gamble. So he gets a draw trigger, possibly drew 1 PG, because usually those PGs kind of get like stuck between those 2 cards. So now that Buta goes away, that is fine. So we're gonna self-damage here. I drew a Polaris, which is good. We want to draw Polaris, because with Polaris, now we have an endgame card. Because he's close to 5th damage, and if he did draw a PG, we got to knock out the first one anyways. So we're debating this. I was thinking this play over. I'm like, nah, I'm just going to set up Leo over here. Set up another little Dr. Raccoon over there. Yep, like that. Perfect. And then we just use Reverse Leo to kind of give us that juice to both those units in the front. So the Raccoon actually is able to hit. Thanks to Reverse Leo, you can actually even play with those units, because once Reverse Leo does that, the unit doesn't return to the same column. It goes to an empty column you see fit, so you can legit put that in the back so you don't lose it from a attack from a different unit, which is nice, really nice. So we self-damage, first check, second check, no trigger, which is okay because I have 2 PGs. I'm fine with like this hand in general, but if he rides Raging Form, we have a problem. So we restand our Leo. Leo swings. We do not juice. We swing again. Perfect hit. We hit a PG. Always nice to hit those. Our PG goes back in the deck, which is great. So again, our units get retired. We'll say hello to that. Say goodbye to that. Bring that back. Throw it in the back like I said. And then that effect goes off. It's a Raccoon. So our Raccoon goes in the back, Leo goes over there, and what do we return? That Coil Bill. Thought we would have got the heal back in the deck, but it's okay. So let's see what he rides here. So if he has Raging Form, I'm actually dead. If he doesn't have Raging Form, alright, looks like I'm not dead yet, because it looks like he didn't draw Raging Form. Alrighty, so we got a match here. With the 2 BGs in my hand, we have a match. So he's going to call Blaster Dark. Blaster Dark's going to retire a unit. GG's, cha-ching. He did not like my booster, apparently. I think he was against boosters. So he gets a Ned main. He top decked it, I guess. And now this officially confirmed he had another PG in his hand. So, with that being said, we now know what to do. Polaris is the final. Oh my god. Why can't this be often when I draw PGs through draw triggers? I love it. So, with the power of reshuffling, sometimes your draw triggers could possibly draw the PGs that they were meant to draw. Sometimes self-damagers shuffle that shitty RNG the game's trying to give you. And then it just fixes it. It's really nice. I like it. So now it's my turn. Lo and behold, let's go Polaris. It's endgame time. When we go Polaris, you already know it's like GG's from here. Use the zebra. Great call. Coil goes to Leo. Leo's going to die from Polaris. And we are good to go for this final turn. Polaris is so important. This card stays in your deck for a long time. The restand on 5th damage is too godly to resist, especially when it's final turn push. Like, I can't stress that enough, why there always has to be four Polarises in your deck. I can't stress that. It really is needed. So he gets the 1 PG. Let's see if he has another one. If not, this could be GG. Swing. I don't have much left. This is my final attack. All right, we went through. Let's see if we win said match. Oof, close one. More Mordred. Mordred likes to get stacked. He's a triple rare. Triple rares are likely to trigger more. In this video, we actually do 3 matches because this is how good the deck actually functions. Because I feel like there was no more explanation after 3 matches. Because this is where Reverse Leo is. This is where I feel like his strongest, where he can be fully utilized for attacking Vanguard and doing all this stuff. There's a reason why there's 4 soft tank slots. I barely use soft tank slot, but if I ever get him on field, I like using him because I like the counter charge. It's how I don't run out of CB. It's good. It helps. But maybe I don't need it at the end of the day, but it still works. It still happens in the end. So let's see what happens. All right, got a normal Leo. I think I returned that Leo for a different card. All right, got my I got my 2 self-damagers, so obviously I'm running Soft Tank Sloth. Because I like holding on to 2 self-damagers because they like to play Russian roulette. So in this build, the difference in this build is there's 3 zebras, there's 4 buntas, 3 raccoons for the self-damage, so there's 7 self-damagers, 2 duck coils just in case you need to draw that 1 itty bitty extra card. Obviously, you can debate that last duck coil bill, like over here. Obviously, you can change maybe to 1 more, maybe 3 soft tank slots. I only do 3 soft tank slots for consistency, 4 for consistency, but you can do 3 for 3. I mean, it wouldn't really kill you. It just, the deck is really self-damaging, and that's where like everything goes pop. And that's like another reason why I like the deck a lot. So our hand's looking pretty solid here. Binocular, bunta, camel, everything. Even a duck coil for later after we retire our unit and do stuff. So he wrote his Nedmain, which means a couple things. He did not draw good. If you're writing Nedmain, means you missed a G2. That's always a given. Means your hand's a little bit G3 heavy there. So I hit a draw trigger. Draws Polaris. Perfect. I don't mind drawing Polaris. I have 3 more in the deck, and I only need 1 in my hand to make the final turn play matter. So in this situation, I do kind of play a self-damager. Kind of just a little defense here and there. I didn't really want to like do anything crazy. I self-damaged myself just in case. I was able to waste 1 because I already had another one. And obviously this man's going to push me to 3 damage anyways. So I just kind of played with how a Revenger player would kind of go about his next turn. So I hit, and if that was a heal, I would have whiffed it. Because I self-damaged, he would have missed it. So no trigger here. Sad face. Nothing to go on about. Card goes back in the deck. We're done with the turn. So with the 2 self-damagers, we are kind of prepped here. I like where we're at. This is going to be a self-damager with a duck coil bill play. So we're going to draw a card, push for damage, and really get some hits in. I love it. This deck feels more towards Reverse Leo in a lot of ways. This is Reverse Leo's true potential. It's not in stands. It's not in Chat Noir. It's within himself and his self-damaging buddies. This is, to me, I felt like, if I had to choose between the 2 decks with the stand, chat, break ride, and verse, I possibly would just choose this like 100% because it can work like crazy well if you get all the pieces. And since you're playing Draw Turbo, you most likely will possibly get all those pieces. So he had Curse Lancer. I don't know why he didn't want a Nedmain. This dude's confusing, but it is what it is. People play the way they play. You can't control that. So then Wardred attacks. Good thing I had the camel kind of prepped. So he countercharged one. Gets a draw trigger. Yep. Gets a draw trigger. Yep. Draw sacking is always a key for Revenger players. It's nice. I healed, and I couldn't be more happier because guess what? I have 2 self-damagers. I'm ready to rock and roll Reverse Leo this, and I top deck. Why can't Great Nature be like this all the time? They'd be so godly. So we got Binocular Tiger prepped. So we're only going to be able to get 2 attacks in. Obviously 2 attacks. But I'm going to just maximize my push damage here, and if he doesn't give me the final push, at least I was able to draw a card off my Duck Coil. So again, my units are prepped, and since I know I can only attack twice because of the 2 intercepts, like I said, if it's a low intercept game, you can get possibly 3 attacks in easy. So we power up that column, and with Binocular Tiger, we're going to be able to power up that column 1 more inch. So no matter what he gets, defense triggers mean right now. Great Nature bypasses all freaking defense triggers. It's amazing. This is like what Great Nature is actually meant for. It's what makes them crazy good. I mean, power creeping these columns with self-damagers is the whole point to Reverse Leo. You're going to be able to turn the self-damager column, that whole 14k column, into a 22k column in general. And that's what we need, the magic number of 22k. Damn, I healed. That is godly. With that heal in mind means I have increased my odds of returning the other heal back into the deck. So let's see if we pull this off. Giant column, 39. You're not getting by that, sir. GG's on that. You can get a draw trigger. Enjoy. So with that being said, our units are going to go back. All right. I didn't return my heal. So guess what? We're going to try again. And what I mean by try again is Reverse Leo's effect is going to bring everybody back, including the self-damagers. And when the self-damagers go off again, that means we are playing roulette one more time. So I draw a Reverse Leo. Nothing more I can do about that draw. It happens. It happens to the best of us. I mean, we can't control that. Defense game is back to being strong. Our self-damagers are about to go off again. See if we can return a heal. So self-damage check once. Self-damage check twice. All right, no trigger. So we didn't lose anything. 1. And the heal goes back. So now we have recycled our heal check. We went back to the 2. That's what I love about this deck. The power to recycle your triggers is very possible now with all the self-damagers. So if you're losing heals early and you healed early, guess what? Self-damage, CB2. If you heal again, guess what? Now your odds are going to increase on returning those cards after doing a Reverse Leo play. There is so much now. This build feels more like the ideal build for Reverse Leo. This is his journey. This is Reverse Leo's true power. It comes from the self-damagers and the Binocular Tiger. Everything. The Soft Tank Sloth. This is his family. This is his nature. This is what he needed. It's perfect. So he does a Raging Form Dragon play. He's, did the Trumpeter. He's wasting a lot of CB to get his plays across. I think he plays another Doreen this turn. Like I said, he was playing very awkwardly. I don't know why. So Doreen, Blaster Dark Revenger. Yep. Blaster Dark Revenger goes off. And that is a snipe. I still had a good amount of triggers, which was great. So that was good. So he plays Dire Moon in the back because he wants to eat. So we don't blame him. Draw trigger. Nice, a booster. I like. He swings. That's fine. Attacks with his Vanguard, so let's see if Revengers get their sack against Great Nature Prowess. Let's see, first check, second check, nothing. All right, so he didn't want to draw 2 cards apparently. So he ended his turn. All right, so my turn. Top deck a Self-Damager, and all I can say is I love this deck for that. It's like, oh, no, I'm not at 4. Yeah, you thought I top decked. And with the top deck of a Self-Damager, we are now back in the green again to smack the opponent. So we're going to put Duck Coil down again. I don't feel like looking for a G3. I need all my G3s in the deck. So now we play Reverse Leo. We just use the extra Reverse Leo as a fighter. Lo and behold, I f***ed up here really bad. I forgot to do the effect. I was very disappointed in myself. I had a good power play column, but it was okay. I'm not going to draw a card, but I had Reverse Leo to restand that unit to be a 21k column, and that's okay. Hit a draw trigger, draw Binocular Tiger. Why not? I missed a PG, sadly. Who knows what I would have drawn if I actually killed Bunta correctly. I'm just mad because I missed my nice power column. So there goes a PG. We're going to restand this bad boy. That is a 26k column at the end of the day. Swing PG. Good. With that being said, now we are in a good zone with our Polaris. Polaris will now be able to finish this match. Once they're at 5, it's go time. This is the final hit. He's going Ned main. He's looking for PGs. He's about to go for full-blown filter power. Let's see what he gets here. Draws 2. All right, Ned main goes off. Pretty simple. All right, tar 2. Now I think this is the turn he's going to eat because he needs to push. So let's see how this goes. And without a booster, I mean, Raging Form doesn't really have much. So that means, again, he's trying to bank off a trigger. Again, decks that try to bank off a luck is, not the best. I mean, you've always got to play your moves accordingly. You got to play a little smart. Pitching that G1 was definitely not smart because you kind of miss an opportunity to actually get a couple swings with the card in general. I mean, you could have just sacked your Dire Mood and just been done with it with a G1 because if you don't have a booster for when you're trying to really push me, you're not going to have an easy time. So he gets a draw trigger. That's fair. It's fair. All right, he got a draw trigger. He possibly got all of his PGs. I could lose this match. This is my final turn. I lose Soft Tank Sloth, but it's okay. My turn comes around. Draw another Soft Tank. But in the end, I knew I could win this with a possible restand on a G1, no less. Because my G1 can actually kill Netmain. And Netmain being a 5k made this a lot easier to play around. So we attack. We power up our Soft Tank Sloth. Give him that juice. And then we attack with Polaris, giving him that juice. Couple of triggers. We had 5 triggers left in the deck. We were kind of fine here. So we juice up our little buddy over there, little Soft Tank Sloth. We're about to end this Revenger's career with a little slothy. Let's see. All right, that's 1 PG. Did he draw the last one? Yep, it said 3. Did he draw it? No, he did not. Turbo Leo wins. That's crazy. Oh, wait, did we win? Hey, we won. Draw trigger. Woohoo. We got it. That is clean. Sometimes draw triggers draw the heals in Revenger decks, too. I noticed that. Lo and behold, that was my rank up. And I'm sitting here wow, I ranked up with Great Nature Turbo Leo. That was nice. Obviously, the first 40 points was from our first video of Great Nature with Chat Noir, but Turbo Leo cleaned up house. So, with this deck in mind, as you can see over there, it's really strong. It gets the job done. You pull certain plays off. You do this with your reverse Leo. You self-damage correctly. If you're at 3, self-damage to 5. Deny them their heal check and go ham. If they only have 1 intercept, you will be able to swing for 3 damage again since you power creeped your column. And if you so happen to hit a trigger, that's just a bonus on your power column. That's the GG's right there. That's why I like when they only play 1 intercept because guess what? It's a guaranteed 3 damage with all the power columns you have prepped without a trigger. You're going to be able to hit pretty hard. And if you hit a trigger, it's guaranteed at the end of the day. A lot of things you got to keep in mind when playing Great Nature in general is definitely that. I love this build. This is 100% my go-to Great Nature build if I was going to play a Great Nature deck. Very strong with Reverse Leo. Polaris being the end game is all we need. Thanks for watching, guys. Y'all be good. Y'all stay safe. Thanks for watching my videos with my commentating. I'm sorry that the audio was kind of cut, but I had to redo it with my voice and just commentating my matches. Thanks for watching, guys. Be good, stay safe, and stay tuned for your next deck profile. Hope you enjoyed this Great Nature action. Peace.